What's up, everyone? Stardog here, and tonight I wanted to do an episode of Box Busters where I'll discuss who to add to your collection, maybe who to drop, maybe who to retire from your collection, as well as the hottest rookies. I like to hit the hottest rookies, so we'll start off with that. My number one hottest rookie right now, and it's only based on this past week, but I'm really high on Wendell Smallwood. He's a guy that came in for Philly and did a lot of work. Had great production, and coming out of WVU, and the fact that we just pulled his rookie out of our retail box last Saturday, I'm really high on this guy. The Philly backfield hasn't been what it should be over the last couple years, and when they dealt Shady and signed DeMarco, and the whole Chip Kelly debacle. And they're really looking for that guy, and I think Wendell Smallwood is going to be that guy. I don't think Matthews is going to bounce back and do anything better than he's done in his career, and I think Smallwood has gotten the opportunity, and I think he's going to run with it. Number two is Ezekiel Elliott, just based on the touches, 20 plus carries. He plays a lot of snaps. He's starting to produce like we thought he could and should. So that's why I have him at 2, and I'm a little biased, obviously. But number 3 is Carson Wentz, and crazy performance by Carson Wentz. First rookie since 1960, I think. He had to throw 30-plus passes in each game. He's the first player in NFL history to not throw an interception in his first 3 games. And he's the first rookie in NFL history to not throw interceptions, in the first 100 pass attempts, the first 75 pass attempts. And it's just crazy. He's got 5 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. He had a 300-plus yard game against the Steelers. So his production's really, really great, and he's obviously solidified himself as the top rookie quarterback in this class this year. And 3B... and I kind of wanted to put him up there with Wendell, honestly, but I haven't seen anything from him yet. I got to watch Wendell last week. Is Jordan Howard, rookie running back for the Chicago Bears. 5th-round pick. Jeremy Langford's down. Their backfield's kind of iffy. I like Langford. Don't get me wrong. But I think anytime a rookie running back comes in and is, as he said, comfortable with the bigger role, take a chance on him. I think he's somebody, if you don't have him or you haven't thought about going after him, I'm going to go after him for sure. We'll see what happens this next week, but I think he'll, after getting introduced in, with this bigger role, it's going to continue. I don't see it diminishing really. Even if Langford comes back, it might take a step back, but if he does excel and break out, Jordan Howard's probably going to be there to stay. Now I have at number 4, Sterling Shepard. You guys saw us pull the first rookie, Sterling Shepard rookie, out of our score retail box this past Saturday. His production again was awesome the last week. Touchdown pass, a reception, and he seems like the guy. Eli seems so comfortable with him, especially for the rookie. He's the best route runner they have on that team. So he's going to just only continue to do better stuff, in my opinion. And then I'll end it at number 5 with Tajay Sharp. Of course, the Titans' number 1 receiver has, past Kendall Wright and everybody really else. He's obviously Marcus Mariota's favorite target, so you got to go with him, and I'm going to keep him there. And I'll mention again, we just pulled our first rookie in the score retail box last Saturday. If you guys didn't see it, I suggest you do take a moment and watch that video from last Saturday. You won't be disappointed because we got a lot of good rookies. Very exciting. Retail box at that. It was awesome. It was awesome. Now, people to add. I'm a fan of Tevin Coleman. I like Devonta Freeman, but I think Coleman was drafted out of Indiana for the sole purpose of being their workhorse. And, last week they both did a lot of work against New Orleans, but I think Coleman is going to be the guy going forward. Even if Freeman's starting the rest of the year, going into next year, Coleman's going to be the starter. If not now, it's going to be later, but it's going to happen. I guarantee that. Trevor Siemian, he's a lock now. I was a little iffy, but after watching the first 3 games, I think the guy's for real. I feel bad for Paxton Lynch because I don't see him really beating him out. I don't think there's anything that he can do now. Maybe next year Paxton will be the guy for him, and Trevor might move on if he's at the end of his rookie contract. But Trevor Siemian right now is definitely hot, and he's a guy that you should add to your collection. Unfortunately, I don't have any Trevor Siemians at the moment, so that's definitely going to be a guy that I'm going to look for sure. I like Jamison Crowder a lot just because he gets a lot of targets. He gets a lot of opportunities to make plays, and I think he's somebody that we should all be adding to our collection. Kevin White with Chicago is another one. A big name rookie. The production really hasn't hit the accelerator yet. It hasn't really happened, but it's starting to happen. He had a crazy catch over Mo Claiborne against Dallas this past week, and just the type of receiver he is, and watching him play. I know he had that one good year. A lot of people want to say at WVU, but I like him. You watch him play, and I just think he's for real. I think he's for real. I like Eric Ebron too a lot. This past week he had the most targets he's had all year. He's finally getting the looks from Stafford, but he got banged up. But the fact that he's starting to get those targets, and the fact that Stafford is looking his way is a positive. We've been waiting for this because we know the guy can produce. You just didn't really know when or if he would stay healthy. And then there's two defensive guys. One of them I've talked about a lot is Quan Alexander. I'm a big Quan Alexander fan right now. His production has been immaculate. He's doing great. He hasn't done anything wrong, really, in terms of his on-field play. So I really think he's worth a look and worth adding to your collection, even though he's a defensive player. I collect defensive players across the board. Not everybody does because the value's not there, and the profitability's low, so on and so forth. But I love collecting football players, so I'm going after defensive guys. I played linebacker as a kid and in high school. And one other one is Tony Jefferson, safety for the Arizona Cardinals. 2013 rookie out of Oklahoma. I like him a lot. He's on every play I'm seeing. He's just involved on almost every defensive play that happens. The guy is just a monster attacking the ball. And right now, in terms of adding to your collection, you can definitely do that for cheap now. And for a defensive back, definitely go for him. Now to drop. Okay, so I dropped a few players, and I'll get to the other ones here a little bit later, but two of them, come to mind, I think, that are still playing, Brandon Pettigrew. We'll start out with Brandon Pettigrew, the Detroit Lions tight end, drafted out of Oklahoma State in the first round, got hurt, for 2 years going on. He's still on the roster, I know, but I haven't even seen the dude, really. And he was one of my favorite tight ends coming out of Oklahoma State. He was such a beast. He really was. And I thought Stafford had all the tools, especially with Megatron still there. But unfortunately, the production has lacked off for too long, and I had to drop him. Unfortunately, it's just one of those deals. And let's see. Okay, so the other player I have to drop, he's not on a team. And I actually went through and saw him in my collection this past weekend, and that's Denarius Moore. And if anybody out there doesn't really know anything about Denarius Moore, he was actually the Oakland Raiders' top receiver prior, I think, to Derek Carr coming in. It might have been that number one receiver the same year Derek Carr was a rookie. But, you sign Michael Crabtree, and you draft Amari Cooper, and Denarius is gone. So he's a free agent right now, and I saw him in, and I felt, it's time for him to go. People to keep an eye on right now, I like Travis Benjamin. For people who don't know, Travis Benjamin, we played for Cleveland, he did pretty good. And that last year, that big contract year, he blew up. Now, players do have a habit of that. They're on the contract year, i.e. Albert Hainsworth, you have a contract year, and they blow up, and they do so well, but to get paid. Then they get paid, and that's all she wrote. And is that going to be the case with Travis Benjamin? Now, to say, did he get paid? I don't really think he got, top receiver money. He's a number 4 receiver for the Chargers, or he was until Keenan Allen went down. But now that Allen's down, I think Travis Benjamin definitely has the potential to blow up if he produces like he can. And he does what he did that last season with Cleveland. I think going into next year, he'll be the number 2 receiver for the San Diego Chargers if he gets it going and everything falls into place. So that's an investment opportunity as well. His cards, I'm talking skyrocketed when he had that last year in Cleveland. His cards were in the top 10 hot list, his rookie autos, all that stuff. It's all fallen out now, but the potential is there, so keep an eye on him. Now, a wild card player. I think Terrell Pryor is a heck of a wild card player. And that's because, this past week was really the only week of production we ever really saw. We've seen some preseason stuff. We saw his quarterbacking maybe a couple times with Seattle, and now he's out in Cleveland. Great place for him too, by the way. An Ohio State product, playing in Cleveland, Ohio. The fan base is there for him, and he produced. The heck if he didn't produce. He played quarterback and receiver last week, going in and out with Cody Kessler. Maybe only a couple series, but still, he's an athlete like that. And his receiving production was crazy to me because he just kind of came out of nowhere to do as well as he did. He was targeted by Cody almost every other play. It was like the two of them, were really doing a lot of work. And so there you go. Cody Kessler and Terrell Pryor are two wild cards, in my opinion. Even though Cody's a rookie and all that good stuff, I'm not ready to put him up there in my hot list. Rookies to watch, but he's a player to watch right now. Of course, he's a rookie to watch, but he's somebody that is starting at a circumstance, and if McCown was healthy or if they had a different option, they probably would go with it. But Cody Kessler hasn't looked too bad. If they play it the right way and manage the game right, I think they'll win. They can keep winning games with him. Okay, so investment opportunities. I mentioned the Keenan Allen injury and the Travis Benjamin deal. Now, this is a situation, I think, where Keenan Allen's value is dropping. And if you're a Chargers fan or a fan of Keenan Allen in general, and you don't have any of those high-end rookies that you might want, or even rookies in general, right now would be a good time to invest in, maybe buy a few. I know you can get lots on eBay and Beckett Marketplace maybe even Trading Card Depot or Co-op. And you could find some rookie lots, of multiple cards or all rookies of the same player. And you can probably get that for cheap. That way you can beef up your collection and, really go after a guy who's had such bad luck these last couple years. He's such a good player, and it really hurt to watch him go down again because I know the guy can produce. And Josh Gordon. That's, Josh Gordon, right? That's a little iffy, touchy subject, but Josh Gordon does warrant some watch. You should be keeping your eye out on this guy. And if you're a fan of Cleveland, or if you're a fan of the player himself like I am, as a football player, the guy is tremendous. He can do just about anything you ask him to do at the receiver position. It seems like he can do everything. So why not go after him? I know his history and all that stuff makes it a little bit, some people consider him untouchable. Don't even touch it. Don't even waste your time. But in my opinion, if you see the right deal, why not? He's going to come back here. His 4-game suspension's almost up. And once he steps on that field and starts producing, his cards are going to go right back up to where they were, and you might miss out. Now, beside of him would be Corey Coleman, who just broke his hand. We're not sure how long he's going to be out. Of course, Josh Gordon coming back is going to hurt Coleman a little bit, so his stock's going to be going down. But even Coleman's a rookie to watch, too. I would still invest in Coleman, despite Gordon coming back, because Coleman really does look like a number 1 receiver, and he won't be staying in Cleveland past his rookie contract. If he still produces and reaches his full potential, that's for sure, unless they want to pay him. Let's see. Is Jordy Nelson for real? Of course Jordy Nelson's for real, but is he back yet? A lot of collectors really went in with Jordy. I know I did. I was lucky enough to pull, a Sage Hit auto rookie the year he came out. Had no idea who this guy was. Who's this white receiver, quick, what's all that? And then boom, he blows up and has such good production with Aaron Rodgers. So much so that they let other receivers walk, James Jones or Greg Jennings, I think, at the time. And, A-Rod and Jordy Nelson, like we all know, really good friends, great chemistry on the field, and 100-plus yards and 2 touchdowns tells me that Jordy Nelson is back. So if you are thinking of selling your Jordy Nelsons to make some profit, you probably can. Let's talk about retiring. I did the ads, I did the drop. What I do personally is I go through my collection each year and I look at players who have retired or players who are long-standing veterans and the production is just falling off. And to me, one of those names would be Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson is a future Hall of Fame receiver. He's one of the best receivers I've ever really seen coming out at a University of Miami, and that whole ordeal with him is the love of the game is still with him. He's still playing. He might be buried deep on the Titans depth chart, but he's a guy that if you have in your collection right now, like I did, and you have 50, 60, 70 plus cards, it's probably time to retire him. Take those cards out so you have room for new players coming up. And what you could do is either storm, collect them, save them, or you could sell them in lots. Player lots are actually a really good way of selling your cards. You might get, if you're like me and you get hundreds of players, hundreds of cards of your favorite players, and you retire them and you're sitting on them and you don't know what to do, I suggest divvying them up 10, 20, 50 cards at a time in a lot and sell them, and especially while they're still playing. Now, Andre Johnson, though, if you're going to do that, I wouldn't do that yet this season. If you are an Andre Johnson and you have him and you retire him from your collection, I would retire him and take him out, but I would wait until he hits the Hall of Fame to sell the lots. I would sit on him for a little bit. Roddy White's another case. He's a free agent. He's going to retire. He says he's going to come back and play for a contender, or he might. But he's another player that I ended up taking out of my collection this week. I put him to the side, and now he's sitting with Andre Johnson in my retire box, waiting for the next chapter of their collecting phase here. Now, Percy Harvin's another one. He's retired now. I'm a big Florida Gator fan, and, what do I do with my Percy Harvins? He's gone. Well, I keep his Florida cards. I keep all my Florida Gator cards. I have the Gators college uniforms, logo, all that stuff in a separate folder, so that's probably what I'm going to be doing with those. But his high-end rookies and things like that have gone down tremendously, and his autos and stuff like that. So if you're like me and you're a Percy Harvin fan or a Gator fan, or you followed him all through high school when he was the #1 recruit, and then a first-round pick coming out of college, and you like that nostalgia, you can still pick up some rookie autos for cheap. Might not be a bad idea if you're a fan. Calvin Johnson, he retired this year, and he's another one that I had to do the same thing. Take his cards out and let him sit and figure out really what to do with them. He's another future Hall of Famer, and of course he'll get there quicker than Andre Johnson. But that's really tricky. If you really want to go after him, or if you're a big fan, you could probably get some of his stuff reasonably priced at the moment, but all in all, his value's pretty much cemented, and once he hits the Hall of Fame, they might go up a little bit, but you're probably not going to see a whole lot of change. I think now would be the best time to do it if you really want to do it, but other than that, there's not going to be any change. And two other guys that I have mentioned, Larry Fitzgerald, a guy who's still playing, got a lot. I have a lot of his cards. And I'm kind of deciphering what to do here because I think he's got maybe 3 years left. And if that, do I pull him and set him right aside with my Roddy Whites and all those guys? Right now I have him in my collection though still. I'm going to keep it going this year, and after this year I think I'll pull him out. But he's another guy, another great example for a lot sell. He's got a huge fan base, especially in our area coming from Pitt. And you can sell him easily. People will buy it. And Steve Smith Sr. is the exact same way. Big fan of the guy. I think he's the only receiver in NFL history under 6 foot to have over 10,000 receiving yards or something to that effect. So that's pretty cool if you're short like me. But he's another guy that you can probably lot sell right now or take out and sit on if you need room for your collection. And let's see. Is he, no, don't worry about. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave you guys with this. There were 2 signings, one today and one a few days ago, maybe last week. C.J. Spiller got signed to the Seattle Seahawks this week. Definitely hurts me a little bit because I was hoping Alex Collins might do something, the rookie out of Arkansas. Of course, we pulled his jumbo rookie patch auto in our Panini Certified box. And Ronnie Hillman getting signed by the Vikings. Don't fret on any of those. They're both, Hillman's not a journeyman, but Spiller, C.J. Spiller is kind of becoming one. And his value, even though he's with the team and might play, it's down, and I don't foresee it really ever coming back up. And on a side note, yes, the Vikings signed Ronnie Hillman. Don't let that scare you from going after McKinnon. I mean, Jared McKinnon is definitely a guy to look at right now. I'm going to look at him. I'm going to go back and hunt for him because I got to have a rookie somewhere, this guy, right? I mean, shoot. He's a starting running back for the Minnesota Vikings right now. And I think he will be next year. I don't think AP is going to come back. I don't think Matt Asiata is going to out-touch him. I mean, McKinnon had 17 touches last weekend compared to Asiata's 7. McKinnon is a more versatile, quick, agile back. Yeah, he'll lose touches in the goal line scenarios. Yes, he might not get as many touchdowns as one would want. But I think barring them drafting a rookie high next year's draft, he's going to be the starting running back for the Minnesota Vikings next year. And I think he's somebody that, at this moment in time, you go after him. And by that I mean, go look at your cards. Go look at what you have outside of your collection, what you have in storage, and hunt for him. See if you can find him like I'm about to do, and hold on to him. See what he does the next few weeks. If he does really well and you want to make some money, sell it. If you does really well and you want to feel like it's an investment, hold on to it. And then maybe sell if he starts next year. In my honest, brutally honest opinion, I do think he'll start next year for Minnesota if they do not draft a running back. But I don't think he's going to be the star that Minnesota fans want him to be. I think that he will hit a ceiling. I think he'll plateau. I don't think his production is really going to go anywhere outside of what he's already shown us after backing up, starting last year or the year before when AP was hurt, and starting those games when AP, third down back, change of pace back, or if AP wasn't able to suit up. I don't think he can hit that. Now that's why they have Asiata as a change pace back. I don't know if he's really a workhorse or a bell cow back, so I would avoid buying high-end stuff, but I would suggest going back and seeing what you got. Now, if you are a Vikings fan, and Randy, if you're watching this, I do suggest looking. I would glimpse on eBay. I would type in a few things on Beckham Marketplace. I would see where he is at, where his rookies are flowing. If I was a Vikings fan, I do like the Vikings. I like their defense. I like Zimmerman. He was the Cowboys D coordinator for many years. Really should have been their head coach a lot sooner than Wade Phillips. That's a whole different story, though. But I still think it's worth it to check out McKinnon's rookies, see what they're going for. And if you can get an auto rookie for $3, $4, $5, do it. I don't think you're going to lose out on that. I think, if anything, you will break even at the end of the day if you sell at the right time. But I think it's important to keep your eye on the players you like and the team and for the team that you follow. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't. Give me a thumbs up, or drop a comment. If you guys haven't yet, please check out some of the other videos that we've done. The retail box bust we did on Saturday, and the Panini Certified, and the Crown Royale that we just did Monday. It was very awesome. And please note that if you see any cards that you like, don't hesitate to drop me a line. I'm in this. I'm a collector. I want to trade. I'm cool with that. So I will respond to every comment. It's all good. So Stardog out. You guys have a great rest of the week. We'll be back Sunday, and we're going to bust that box. I'll do the unveiling that day. I'm going to keep it all hidden until that day comes. So everyone, have a good evening. Thanks you so much for watching. If you can, please share it, tweet it, do what you can. But I really appreciate everybody watching. It means so much to me. I enjoy this so much, and all the feedback has been amazing. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you Sunday.